Brilliant. Welcome everyone. I hope that you're all well. I'm very mindful that you've had a couple of weeks break, so you'll probably be a little bit creaky at the seams. Sorry. Hopefully you did your homework that I set you on camera. I will be checking to see what you've remembered. Can we start this evening lying down? So I'll let you start in a supine position. And I'll kind of let you choose whether you will be more comfortable with the knees bent, or if you're happy to do so, you can extend the arms, extend the legs, and come into full Shavasana pose. Just have a little bit of play around. Sometimes when you first lie down, you start to realise that your lower back isn't that cracky, and you might need a little bit of space there. You might want to take the hands and the feet equal distance from the midline of the body, just to create a little bit of space, to allow the wide muscles of the back to soften, so that you have a sense of the full width of your back is releasing, easing into the floor beneath you. A sense that that space at the back of your head feels supported. So notice if you have reverted to the usual type of sticking the chin up in the air. Maybe consider drawing the chin a little closer to the chest, just to create that little bit of length through the back of the neck. Take a moment to gently rock the head from one side to the other. Just notice here if there's any creaking and groaning, any tightness. Allow your head to drift back to centre. And let's just take a moment to check in that we've unclenched the jaw, the tongue is resting the well of the mouth, the eyebrows are soft. You allow all the muscles of the face to fully release and relax. We'll bring our full focus to the breath. And without any need to count, just be aware of the depth of your in-breath, the length of your out-breath, and set an intention to bring those breaths into balance. Equal length on the breath in, on the breath out. And consider that the work of our practice this evening will be all about finding that balance, that centre, giving ourselves space and time to reconnect the body and the breath, to re-ground. Allow your awareness to drift down through the length of your spine, down through the length of your legs. Feel the ankles soft, feet released. Consider how you've positioned your hands. Perhaps you need to extend the arms, soften the hands, soften the wrists, rather than holding tension inside the body. Use these few moments in a gesture of receptivity to open, to widen, to let go of any tension. Now let's return again to observing the breath. This time, making the out-breath a little longer than the in-breath. With every deep exhalation, have a sense that you're releasing the body of anything that no longer serves you. If it helps, you can make this breath a little noisier. Breathing in through the nose A slightly longer breath out through the mouth. Repeat that action of breathing in through the nose. A longer breath out through the mouth. And as we come to this next full breath, release your out breath with an audible sigh. That sigh almost chimes a bell, sends a message to the body to say that we're moving out of the yin-yang state we found ourselves in today and moving into a more yin phase. Take a moment to wiggle the fingers, to wiggle the toes, wiggle the jaw, and wiggle the nose. So if you've taken your arms out by your side, just slightly and slowly draw the arms a little closer towards the hips, just so that the arms run alongside the body. Keep the palms turned up towards the ceiling, and on the next inhalation, lift both arms overhead. Take your time here. It might take 2 or 3 breaths to find the space and the release around the shoulders, around the chest, to draw the back of the hands towards the floor. I like to widen the arms a little, breathing into that space between the shoulder blades, softening into that flatness underneath the shoulder blades. Then draw the thumbs together, create an interlock here. Float the back of the hands an inch from the floor, and take a moment to gently draw the toes in towards the shins, so creating flexion here. Inhale to lengthen, pushing through the heels. Then as you exhale, push the upper body over to the right side. Think of making a banana shape through the side of the waist and the ribcage. Then inhale to return to centre. On the next exhale, squeeze the upper body over to the opposite side. Inhaling again to return to centre. This time separating the thumbs, pointing through the toes, taking a long stretch through the full length of the body. On the next out breath, hug the right knee in towards the chest, placing the hands either to the shin or, if you prefer, behind the thigh, drawing the knee a little closer to feel that release in the middle and lower back. You might like to adjust by rolling the knee out towards the side, just to create a little more release through the back of the sacrum. Inhale again to draw that knee back to centre. Then on the out breath, release, lengthening the leg. Inhaling again to lift both arms overhead. Then on the out breath, hug the left knee in. So again, there's a moment where we work with the breath to soften that knee in towards the chest, to find that space in the lower back. Redirecting that knee out to the left side now, finding that release through the back of the sacrum. Returning that knee to centre. Inhaling once more to lengthen, arms overhead, pointing through fingers and toes. Then on the next out breath, hug both knees in. Let's create a little space between the knees. And take a gentle rock from one side to the other. This feels a bit like a massaging action over the back of the sacrum. Return to centre, reposition the hands on top of the knees, and then draw circles with the knees, almost creating a stirring action. So we're loosening up that space in and around the hips, changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way, then returning again to centre, replacing both feet on the mat. So at this point, I'll get you to take the feet a little wider. So I always use the outside edge of the mat as a bit of a guide here. And we'll take the arms wider. And back to creating that softness over the chest, allowing the belly to release. On the inhalation, roll both knees over towards the right side, almost as though you're creating like a windscreen wiper action. Engage the core, inhale, draw the knees back to centre, and exhale, lower the knees to the left side. So working with the rhythm of your breath, we're going to recreate that action, going a little bit faster as we use that windscreen action from one side to the other. Breathing out to release any tension. Breathing in to re-energize the body. One more rotation, taking the knees to the left. Then draw the knees back again to centre. Let's reposition the feet a little closer together. So we've still got a little bit of a gap between the thighs, not quite so exaggerated. On the out breath now, roll the knees to the right and notice that this feels different to the windscreen action. You can feel that the left buttock peels from the floor as the weight of the knees carry forward to the right. Inhale from fingertip to fingertip. Exhale to engage the core. Lift the weight of the knees through centre and draw the knees over to the opposite side. So in this action, we've clearly got the back of the body rested on the floor. Engage the core. Let's sweep the knees over to the right again. So you can feel that there's a gentle twisting, releasing happening either side of the ribcage. You can feel that twist through the middle back, that release in the lower back as you allow each side of the body to peel from the floor. Let's draw the knees back again to centre. Repositioning the hands either side of the hips, palms turned up towards the ceiling. You may prefer to draw the heels a little closer towards the bottom, setting the insides of the feet parallel. Push down into the soles of the feet, lift the bottom from the floor. Inhale to press the shins forward, lifting the thighs a little higher. Then lift both arms overhead. Rest the backs of the arms on the floor, pressing through shins, lifting the thighs, keeping that opening through your assisted bridge pose. Now we're going to take our time to gently roll down through the spine. We're not in any rush here, and because we're keeping our hands just rested on the floor, there's a little bit of resistance through the side of the pectoral muscles, into the side of the rib cage, until you can bring the lower back, the sacrum, to the floor. On the out breath, hug both knees again in towards the chest. Resume that T-shaped position with the arms, keeping those knees drawn in so the feet are now off the floor. On an out breath, roll both knees to the right. And to help keep your centre, turn your gaze along the length of the left arm. Now, oftentimes in this posture, we feel the left shoulder lift from the floor. So take an extra out breath here to breathe that left shoulder to the floor, to take your gaze along the length of that arm, and inhale to widen through the chest, breathing into that left side of the ribcage. Then on the next out breath, engage the core, roll the knees through centre, and take the knees all the way to the opposite side. So again, we're being kind, we're noticing if the shoulder lifts. There's no judgment here, we're just working with the breath to ease it to the floor, to create that space through the side of the ribcage, lengthening through that right arm. Inhale to widen through the chest. exhaling to engage the core and rolling the knees back again through centre. Bring the hands to rest on the knees once more. And this time we're going to draw an infinity sign. So you're kind of drawing a figure of 8 above the hips, feeling that massaging action again over the lower back into the sacrum. And then returning once more to centre. Perfect. Now replace both feet on the mat. We're going to keep the knees bent. Again, we want to reset the feet about hip width distance apart, with a little bit of a gap between the feet. On the next inhalation, lift and lengthen through the right leg. Let's draw that right toe towards the shin, pressing through the heel. So remember that for most of us, creating a fully straight leg, it will always be a challenge. The hamstring is an area most of us hold quite tight. So let's just work gently with this area. Inhaling to point through the toe, exhaling to flex. Inhale to point, exhale to flex. Using the big toe now to draw 3 circles in towards the midline of the body. Changing direction, taking those circles the opposite way. Let those creaky ankles say what we need to say. Bring that foot again to flexion. You might want to reach with the hands either side of the thigh, or if you can manage behind the thigh. Work with an out breath to gently guide that thigh a little closer to the chest. Avoid the temptation of lifting your bottom from the floor. Inhale to press and push through the heel. Then on the out breath, bend that right knee in, hug the knee to the chest. Let's bring the right hand to the inside of the bent knee. You can either take hold of the big toe or wrap your hand around the foot or the ankle, whatever is comfortable for you. It helps to take the left arm out in that half sheet T shape. Let's push through the right heel. So it's unlikely we're going to get to a straight leg in this position because clearly the arms are not as long as the legs. And we want to keep the hand connected to the toe. On an out breath, let's take that right foot out to the side. So we're just taking that stretch into the inner thigh, away from the hamstring, trying to remain equally weighted through the back of the hips. It might help you to let the left knee roll open as you press a little more keenly through the right heel. As you exhale, engage the core, slide the foot back to centre, reset that knee in centre, then hug that right knee in towards the chest and replace the foot to the floor. Same sequence on the left leg, inhaling now to lift and lengthen. So again, we're gently working through the point and flex action, working with the breath, pushing a little more keenly through the heel to find that hamstring stretch. Then we'll start to draw those circles, 3 circles in towards the body, 3 circles away from the body, all in the action of the ankle. Bring that foot back to flexion, pushing again through the heel, taking hold of either the sides of the thigh, the back of the thigh, working with the breath to draw the thigh a little closer. So remember, when you inhale, you can point the toe, that takes that tension away. When you come to the exhale, try to go back into flexion, drawing the thigh a little closer, deepening that stretch. On the next out breath, bend the left knee. Again, we'll take the right arm out to create that T shape, take hold of the big toe or the ankle, press through the heel. Keep pushing through that heel, allowing a little softness in the knee, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Then on the next out breath, guide that left foot out to the side. So remember, you don't really want the back of the hips to move, you want to keep Squared through the hips, squared through the shoulders. All the action is in opening into that inner thigh. Engage the core, then slide that foot back again to centre. Exhale to hug the knee towards the chest. Let's bring the right knee in once more. Place the hands behind the thighs, and we're going to do 3 little rock and roll actions through the length of the spine. So you're trying to bring yourself up to seated, then rolling back down. 3, 2, and 1. All the way back to a seated position. Wonderful. Let's come to a seated cross-leg position. So I'm going to position the right foot to the front. You can take a little moment to adjust so that you're on the bony part of the sit bones. You don't want to be rolling back, lifting and lengthening. For a moment, take the palms and place them facing upwards so that they are resting on the insides of the thigh. Inhale to squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale to shrug the shoulders low. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, shrug to let the shoulders go. A little bit more isolation now. As you inhale, squeeze the right shoulder up. A little more control as you release that shoulder back and down. Inhale to squeeze the left shoulder up. And again, slow, gentle release. Let's once more bring both shoulders up. A little more control as we roll the shoulders back and down. Perfect. So we should now be feeling quite a little bit of opening stretch through the chest. Let's take that a little further by bringing the hands to an interlock behind the lower back. So let's remain upright, no need to lean forward in this posture. And just check in with the position of the chin. In an ideal world, the underside of the chin will be parallel to the floor. Take a deep breath in to widen through the chest. As you exhale, engage the core and slide the hands away from the lower back. So we're opening, creating space at the side of the pectoral muscles, then releasing, bringing the arms back again into the lower back. Separate the hands and extend the fingers forward. So again, a sense that we're almost leaning back into an invisible wall, that we've got length in the spine by lifting through the top of the head. Let's bring the hands together into an interlock with right forefinger to the top, open the palms in towards the heart, exhaling to turn the hands inside out. As you inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. And again, I'll remind you, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 breath rotations to come to your full range of movement through the shoulders. A sense that the palms of the hands are holding the ceiling up, that we're fully extended through the arms without locking the elbows. The shoulders remain relaxed away from the ears. There's an engagement under the ribcage into the core. And as you exhale, keep that core engagement and float the hands back again towards the heart. Turn the hands in towards the heart space, separate the hands. Beautiful. On fingertips now, rather than placing the palms to the floor, squeeze the shoulders up, but keep the fingers connected to the mat. Then take your time to slowly roll the shoulders back and down. Perfect. Let's switch that leg crossover. So we'll have the opposite foot in front. Most of us have got one side that's more comfortable in sucker pose or easy pose. Let's again find that height and length out of the sit bones. Sliding the right hand away, but once more, this time rather than just fingertips, we're bringing the palm to the floor. Lifting the left arm. Notice that this is a diagonal line that runs from the wrist through the elbow, the shoulders, and all the way through to the tips of the fingers of the left hand. On the out breath, bring that right elbow in towards the waist. This creates plenty of space for us to reach up and over with that left upper arm parallel to the ear. Inhale to lift, come back to centre, then widen again. Palm to the floor, lengthen on the lift, exhale to ease over. Keeping that left shoulder nice and soft, left elbow in towards the waist. Inhale to lift and come back to centre. Replace this right hand now behind the right hip, left hand to right knee. Inhale to lift up. Follow the side of the rib cage and come into the first part of our twist here. So we're so far in the twist, but we just want to take a little bit more height. So let's inhale to lengthen. Then as you exhale, keep following the side of the rib cage as you slowly start to draw your gaze towards the back of the room. Let's lift the palms up. So inhale, lift the chest to centre, come into a Y shape. As you exhale, opposite hand to opposite side. Inhaling to lift up, exhaling to squeeze into a slightly deeper twist. Inhaling once more to lift the arms up overhead. Beautiful. We'll bring the palms together to create a very relaxed Anjali Mudra overhead. So that generally means that the fingertips and the base of the palms touching. That keeps us nice and soft in the elbows and the shoulders. Inhaling to lengthen and lift. Then as you exhale, mindfully engage the core and slide that Anjali Mudra back towards your heart space. Beautiful. On the next inhalation, widen the arms. So we're creating a T shape. The key is that we want the wrist to remain in the same plane as the shoulders. So we don't want to be dropping the arms down, we don't want to be lifting the arms up. A nice long line. Press through the fingertips, feel that chest expansion. Give the fingertips a little wiggle. Let's draw circles with the wrist. So using the fingers, drawing 3 circles forward, changing that to 3 circles back. Coming back into a flexion position so that we're pressing through the palms, keeping that lift, that engagement through the shoulders, perfect. Now in this flexion position, we're going to again do a little rotation, but rather than the wrists, it's coming from the shoulder. So 3 circles forward, then 3 circles back. And I know it's getting warm. That's when we know we're doing the good stuff. Keep pressing through the palms, shoulder blades drawn together, lifted and lengthened. So almost like you're lifting the rib cage off the belly. We'll come back to articulating just the wrists, so draw 3 circles forward, 3 circles back. Then spread the fingers, opening the palms towards the front of the room. Draw the fingertips in towards the palm, thumbs remain up, shoulder blades drawn together. Focus on the breath. Visualise that you're sending the breath all the way down to the belly. So the inhalation, feel the belly rise. Exhalation, control that breath out, cooling your whole body down. Inhaling, widening into the energy. Exhaling, engaging. One more inhalation. This time on the exhalation, wiggle the fingers and allow the hands to release to the floor. Ah! Does anyone else feel like they can fly now? There's a few kind of like, oh, faces in the room. Perfect, we've done our work. Okay, so I said that tonight I wanted to do a little bit of work on balance. We're going to do the pranayama where we do the equal breath in a moment. But firstly, can I get you onto your feet, please? Super. So we can stand with the feet hip width distance apart, shoulder width if that's a little bit more comfortable for you. Nice little bit of softness in the knees, just a little bit of bounce, just a little bit of bounce through the body. So just kind of shrug it all out. Those arms feel a little hot, the shoulders feel a little tight after all that work. So just shrug it all out, just shrug it all out. Turn that into a little jump and just keep flicking the hands away. Just shrug it all out. You can make the hands do a little bit more work if you want. Flicking. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now let's create a little bit of motion here. So we're still bouncing, but we're bringing the arms around the front and the back of the body. Just creating a little bit of movement, a little bit of energy. Perfect. Let's allow that to slowly soften to centre. And then with the soft palm, I don't want to hear anyone slapping themselves. Let's just take a little, almost like a drum roll. Thighs are easy. Buttocks are great. And you can go a little bit more, especially with the extra padding like me. You can bend your knees, you can take it a little bit lower. A little bit of slackadoo on the shins, on the calves. Lift it back up the body. Let's get into the belly. Oh, that makes a little bit of a duller sound. There's a little bit more dampening going on there. Let's not draw too much tension to that. Bring it up on top of the chest. Remember, you're not slapping yourselves, just keep it nice and light. We're into that kind of polite clapping with just the fingertips now. Let's take that little bit of tapping down through the length of the arms. Both arms. Bring the hands on top of the shoulders. We'll just keep moving, just keep moving the hips, and then we'll bring the fingertips onto the face. So a little bit of a slap out if you're feeling a bit tired and you need waking up. The gentler and kindler way is just to use the fingertips, almost like a pitter-pattering all over your face. A little bit of pitter-pattering onto the crown of the head. Feel all that energy, lovely, beautiful. Now we can allow the body to become still, we can bring the hands down by our sides, and we can gently walk the feet towards one another so that we come into a mountain pose. I'm going to get you to come into your mountain pose, setting your pelvic bowl that we've talking about many, many times, and then take a moment to just close your eyes. So quite often when we come to Tadasana and close our eyes, there's quite often a lot of sway or leaning to one side. Because we've spent a little bit of time energising and bringing the body into balance with all that activation, probably feeling a little more grounded, a little more able to just stay in space. Perfect. I'll ask you to blink the eyes open now. We're going to stay in Tadasana. All we're going to do is lift the right knee. So we want the right knee to be at a 90-degree angle, the underside of the foot parallel to the floor. Avoid, if you can, grabbing hold with the toes of the left foot. Let's go nice and soft, nice and wide, hands down by your side. And just turn the side on so that you can see that this is the shape of the knee. Try not to bring your heel in, you're working quite hard on the thigh, just keep everything nice and soft. Perfect. Now replace that right foot to the floor. We'll do the same on the opposite side. So you'll notice when you come into this simple balance posture, you'll notice where the imbalances come in. Sometimes you'll be feeling that you're leaning to one side. Sometimes you'll just feel that one hip is lifted or one shoulder is lifted. So your aim is to feel the hips and the shoulders square, the underside of the foot parallel to the floor, and we start to feel this gyroscope in the core working to keep us upright, holding the balance. This won't work if you hold your breath, so remember to breathe. And then everyone goes wobble when I say that. Then replace that foot to the floor. Perfect. Peel the heels up so we're rolling onto the balls of the feet. Then lower the heels back to the floor. Peel up just the right heel so you're coming onto the ball of the right foot. Then squeeze that heel to the floor as you transition to the opposite side. So we're going to compress a little and keep that action going. So almost as though you're walking very exaggeratedly on the space, in one place on the floor. I don't quite know where some of the words are coming from tonight. There's some good action going on here. I can see some like really funky arms, funky hips. Like it. Beautiful. Let's have both heels onto the floor now. So I'm going to turn side on because it will be easier for me to show you. So our next action from this compressed shape is to push the sit bones back and come into a squat position. Now, it's very difficult to avoid bringing your upper body weight forward. A good anchor point is to make sure that your toes don't go over your knees don't go over the toes. So ideally we're pushing back and sitting down rather than pressing forward. If you press forward, it's a lot of tension on the knee joints. Hands can be wherever you like, down by your side. You can use them actively. Think about that gap between the knees. Sometimes if you're actively rolling the knees out so that they line up over the second toes, it just helps you to focus a little more on engaging the right muscle group. So we're in this squat position. Lift the right heel. So we're coming up onto the ball of the right foot, left foot stays on the floor. Then again, we're transitioning to the opposite side. So we'll transition from one side to the other. So we're even more compressed now. We're in this squat shape. One heel, then the other. Then replace both heels to the floor. Widen the arms. Think of this as an unhinge. So we're lifting the upper body, straightening the thighs, inhaling to lift the arms overhead. Again, soft Anjali Mudra, so there's no pressing the palms together. Lengthen through the fingertips, arms either side of the ears. Lift your gaze up to the thumbs. Think about lifting from the sternum rather than rolling the back. And gently ease into the back. Stretch, good. Inhale, lift. Come back to center. Beautiful work. Okay, let's add a little bit of balance to that. So, come back into your mountain pose, palms towards the front of the room. Let's go into a tree pose to start. So lift the right heel from the mat, roll the right knee out, and just position the heel above the left ankle. So my worst habit in this posture is I tend to kind of stick the left hip out. I'm exaggerating. So try to remind yourself to remain lengthened, rooted. It's called tree. Your choice whether you stay in this position and really focus on activating the external rotation, or if you want to go for the balance, slide the sole of the foot up, hips remain square, shoulders remain square. Pick a pose with the hands. You could be here, you could be here, you could be here. Once you're in the zone for you, and you feel that you have your balance, take a moment to just close your eyes, see what happens. Wiggle, wiggle, fall. Then blink the eyes open. No rush. Nicely controlled. Roll the knee back to the front and replace the foot on the floor. So if I've taught you well, there won't be any tension in the left foot. If there is, you might just need to come up onto the balls of the feet a couple of times and just stretch that out. If there is tension on that left foot, chances are the toes were gripping. So when we do it on the other side, we'll remember that. So let's again just come into the supported balance. So we're peeling the heel up, resting it against the ankle. Remember, the important action here is that lift and rotation out of the knee, hips, shoulders facing forward. You might find that you're activated enough, keeping this toe on the floor. You might want to just test your balance by sliding the sole of the foot up, finding a single point that you can focus on, avoiding holding the breath, avoiding squeezing with the toes. Take a deep breath in. If you're happy to do so, close your eyes. Whatever on this leg. And as you exhale, roll the knee to face forward, replace the foot to the floor. Perfect. I'm going to stay facing you, but we're going to repeat that chair pose that we did a moment ago. So remember, the idea is that we're anchoring the knees over the ankles. They don't want to come any further forward than the toes as we come into that seated chair pose. Now bring the hands to an Anjali Mudra here. So we're kind of going to do a bit of a compound thing here. We're going to add in a twist as well as the strength that we're having in the chair. So take the left elbow, park it to the outside of the right thigh, look along the length of the right elbow and feel that gentle twist through the waist. Then as you inhale, undo the twist, lift up overhead. Try to avoid pushing the hips forward as you lift your gaze, open the sternum, and come back again into centre, exhaling into your chair. When you're in your chair, inhale to widen through the chest. On the next exhalation, opposite elbow to opposite thigh, coming into that twist. Beautiful. Inhaling now to lift up, opening into that sternum. Little change of plan here as you exhale, widen the arms, hinge forward, bring the fingertips to the floor, tuck the chin under, back into the hamstring stretch. Just post the fingertips underneath the toes. So your palms are facing up and you're in effect standing on your fingers. Draw the shoulder blades together, ease the sternum forward, gently lift the tailbone. Keep that chin nice and soft, back of the neck released. Then slide the hands out from under the toes. Inhale, unhinge, lift up, bring the hands up, look overhead. Bring the hands back again to heart. So we're going to repeat that sequence, but this time with meaning, a little bit of jazz hands. So inhale to lift up. Exhale, chair twist to the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chair twist to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward, come into the fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lift. Twist to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hinge, come forward into the fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's hold it down here for a moment. Let's walk the hands a little further forward. So we're still on fingertips. Shoulders relaxed, lifting the tailbone, pressing the thighs towards the back of the room, tucking the chin under. Nice and long through the back of the neck. Inhale, lift. Look up towards the thumbs. Ease into that gentle release through the spine. Then on the out breath, bring the hands back to chest level. Beautifully done. Okay, if I can get you to come back down into a seated position, please. If you wish, you can sit on a bolster or a cushion, pillow. Sometimes it just helps to be a little bit higher up when you're doing a breathing technique. It just gives you a little bit more room to do it. So if you've had a cold, if you've got a stuffed up nose, can I make a suggestion that you blow your nose now, because it could get very messy if you don't. Just always have a tissue with you at yoga, just in case. Now, in real terms, this position with the knees separated is actually the best for this particular pranayama. The reason it's really good is because it gives you all that space for you to kind of open out through the belly. It also means that you can slightly lean forward and rest onto the space just above the knees. So I'm going to show you before we do anything, because in a minute you'll have your eyes closed and you won't see it. So if we imagine that we're navigating between the thumb and the little finger, and we're using the thumb and then the little finger to close off the nostrils. So you're kind of just rocking from one side to the other. Perfect. Now if you're super fancy, what you might choose to do is take index finger and middle finger and just rest them on your third eye, the space between the eyebrows. What I will say is, if you're wearing glasses, or if you don't have particularly long fingers, which is my case, that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I tend not to do that because I find it quite hard. So just think about the thumb and the little finger. So we're going to start with the right nostril. I think I'm on flipped camera to you, so I hope that I'm showing you right. But effectively, I want you to close the left nostril, take a big deep breath in through the right. And then I want you to close the right nostril and take a big deep breath out through the left. Then in through the left, and out through the right. Perfect. So you've got the technique. Let's have a little check-in with how balanced you are before we begin practice. So in my tequila shot way, I'm going to suggest that you lick the back of your hand. So it's a little bit damp. And then breathe out with both nostrils onto that little dampened area. Actually, I'm quite level tonight, which is very unusual. It's more normal that you have one nostril that just feels a little bit more dominant than the other. So this practice, the intention is that we will come to having equal force coming out through both nostrils to balance your Sushumna, or your central line of energy through the chakras. So let's begin, closing the left nostril. We'll do a total of 12 breath rotations. So if you kind of don't want to listen to me, you can count for yourself. We're going to inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale opposite nostril. Inhale, same nostril. Exhale opposite. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's inhaling, exhaling opposite nostril. Inhaling same, exhaling opposite. Inhaling same, exhaling opposite. Inhaling same, exhaling opposite. Inhale. Switch. Switch. Last set. One more on this side, so exhale. Inhale, same. Switch, exhale. Inhale, same. Exhale, switch. Inhale. Take the fingers away from the nose, a full exhalation, a full inhalation. Lick the back of your palm again and breathe out onto the skin. Oh, much more open. Did we discern a difference between before and after? Either stronger or different? Yes, good, thank you. Some thumbs. Brilliant. So that's a practice that you can do at any time. It's particularly good at this time of year when there's lots of nervy going around. Because you kind of say, I don't want it in my space, I want to keep within my own energy and keep the nice corner nice and clear. It's a very good one for if you can't sleep at night. So if you find that you're having trouble getting to sleep or you wake up, try doing that breathing technique. There's a lot of concentration happening when you're shifting your focus from one side to the other, but equally it is bringing you into a much more relaxed state. Perfect. I'm going to let you lie down and take your final Shavasana. So if you did use a pillow or a bolster, you might want to pop it underneath your knees. You might need a blanket now that we're getting into the chillier nights. You might just want to pull on a pair of socks. I'll remind you about the benefits of separating the hands and the feet equal distance from the midline of the body. Feeling and visualising the two sides of your body are releasing from the centre. You've created all that gorgeous space down through your Sushumna, the central line of energy that runs from your Earth Star chakra all the way up to your solar gateway. Focus on deepening and lengthening the breath. Charging your body. Setting an intention to bring your body to a complete, comfortable rest. Give yourself permission to push your to-do list to one side. As you tune in to the rhythm of your breath, taking a moment to scan the body from head to toe, making any adjustments where needed, sending the breath to any parts of the body that may be asking for a little extra attention, knowing that with every full exhalation, you release your body of tension. With each deep inhalation, filling your body with positive energy. With each full exhalation,
releasing your body of anything that doesn't serve you. Now bring your full focus down to your feet. Relax the right foot, relax the left foot. Feel both feet fully released and relaxed. Relax the ankles, the calves and the shins. Soften and release the ankles, calves and the shins. Let go of the knees. Release the thighs. Soften the buttocks. Feel the weight of your lower body sink a little deeper into the floor. Feel the wide muscles of your back release their grip on your spine. Notice the weight in your arms, in your hands. Relaxing the full weight of the right arm, the full weight of the left arm. Feel the body expand and widen as you inhale. The weight of your shoulders, the whole of your upper body release as you exhale. Feel your head sink a little more deeply into the floor. Enjoy the sensation of the whole body, softened, heavy, completely released. Enjoy this quiet. If you find your mind wanders, bring the focus back to the breath. Follow the journey of each full breath in, each long breath out. Now allow the breath to become a little noisier. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Releasing the next full exhalation with a sigh. You might notice that your body feels very heavy. So let's just make little movements to begin with. Slowly wiggling fingers and toes. Perhaps drawing little circles with the wrists. Pointing the toes, flexing the feet. If you wish, taking a long stretch through the body. And ready, hugging the knees towards the chest. Pausing there for a moment. Taking that little gentle rock from one side to the other. In your own time, roll to one side, pausing to blink the eyes open, then return again to a comfortable, seated position. And bring your hands to an Anjali Mudra. Touch to the head for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind intentions. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Oh, I got quite comfy in that position here.